This is Balanced, a holistic lifestyle podcast for millennials that focuses on mastering mind, body, and soul. I'm your host, Jebu Vive, a Jamaican mother, wife, educator, and motivator. Follow me as we dive into all of life's compartments on my journey to striking the balance. What a guan, Beauts! We're here for yet another episode on our journey to striking the balance. If you've missed last week's episode, we spoke about 10 steps we could take to become the best version of ourselves. You can check that out on my YouTube page. It's a 2-part episode, so be sure to grab your notepads because we went in, okay? On today's episode, we'll be looking into the process and actually trusting that it will take you exactly where you intend to go. I'm your sage, Jebu V. Welcome to the Balanced family. We all know things take time, and most times it takes longer than we'd like. We do lose our patience, and more often than not, we want to call it quits, throw in the towel. Well, I am here to remind you that giving up is not an option. And good things do in fact come to those who wait. There is this quote, "The race is not for the swift, but those who can endure to the end." We're all too familiar with the challenges, obstacles, and possible wins that we may encounter in our individual lives. Now, no matter what category you fall in, growth requires determination, work, and a goal. Yeah, that thing you call the vision, the end goal? Yeah, you're going to stumble upon some difficulties, but that's life. Adjust to the thing set. The idea is not to see someone else's road and try to walk it. No, we don't do that. It's not to envy the other man because their road to their end goal appears easier and more glamorous, glimmering even. We never know exactly what is taking place in the lane that another person is holding. There are so many people who would kill just to be on the road that doesn't belong to them. If this is you, I'm calling you out right now. Stop it, okay? Accept what it is and work with it. They say when life gives you lemons, you make lemonade. Well, I myself always happen to be having lemonade parties, yeah? I love to throw myself an awesome lemonade party. That's what I do with my lemons, okay? Because you have your own lane to do with what you please. And though it may not be paved with gold or has that majestic aura going for it, you always have the option of making the best from what you do have. It's never safe to assume the grass is greener elsewhere because, Beauts, listen, I'll tell you this, it never is. I saw the thing set. A phrase that basically says what I've been saying this whole episode so far, beautiful people. It is what it is. Welcome, Beauts. Thanks for trotting with me. So, for your information, FYI Beauts, from time to time on this show, I'll spill some tea, give you some details that are bound to do something for ya. So, I was watching, my husband was watching a YouTube video and I was eavesdropping. Don't judge me, okay? I was busy, but my ears pulled me in. Anywho, the person was referring to an interview they had done with a well-established, needless to say, mega-rich young man. At the end of the interview, the interviewer, we'll call him John, he admitted to feeling jealous and less significant because his interviewee, whom we'll call Wayne, had gained such magnificent success. He had it all figured out. His life appeared to be perfect. This guy, Wayne, seemed to have had the perfect upbringing, had the best support, had one of those relationship goal situations going on, and he was living his life, his best life. John, like most of us, felt like, damn, what have I been doing with my life? Although he himself was established, he asked himself questions like, why am I not where this guy is? He's younger than me. What's good? So after John, the host, explained how heavy he was feeling and angry too that Wayne was able to achieve all these things he didn't, he went on to say he later read an article written by none other than Wayne himself. In the article, Wayne stated that in all his success, he was battling with depression and self-acceptance. He even went as far as to contemplate suicide. Hearing about the struggles Wayne had faced really humbled John, who was only looking over from his perspective. John hadn't a clue about what was really going on in Wayne's life. How could he when Wayne's lane appeared to be something of fairy tales? He was unaware of the reality that was hidden behind the external, unaware that what he saw acted as a mask to front what was really taking place underneath. John couldn't see past the glitter. Now talk about a message, okay, Beauts? Because listen, I got it loud and clear from the other room. Let me stick a pin right here and refresh your memory with the quote I started with. The race is not for the swift, but those who can endure to the end. When we look at the lives of the people around us, even on social media, we're pushed into this comparative state. It doesn't help us to attain anything but guilt, self-loathing, and everything else that can hinder our happiness. You know, that beautiful thing that we have in our own lanes? Yeah, that. We aren't able to appreciate what it is we've accomplished as we should, because we're busy trying to be or beat the next guy. Although life is a figurative race, as the quote has suggested, we're not going against each other. No, it's never about competition. Listen, if you want to compete, compete with your fine self, where the only thing you have to compare is you and your past self. How many times have you seen people bragging on social media and you felt like you have to have it in order to feel like an equal? Or if you don't, you're less than. Let's talk about it, Beauts. Tell me how it really go. When you find me on TikTok or on Twitter at JEBUVVT, come make a reason about it. Go grab some water, honeys, because when we get back, we don't want to miss the bellyful that I have in store. So, Beauts, welcome back. Wagwan. I have a few words for you. If you're listening right now and you're going through it, keep going. No matter what you're battling, keep fighting. Whatever your end goal is, keep striving for it. I know I am. And pay no attention to the grind of the next man. Do what you have to do without remorse for people who don't agree with or try to hinder your growth. When you feel like you're about to give up, your glitter might just be on the other side of the rubble, but you'll never know if you just pump your brakes and stop. So, we were never promised ease. Let's be honest. We were never promised consistent joy. None of that exists no matter what lane you're in. Let's keep that in mind. And know that, listen, your journey is uniquely yours, and no one can fit your shoes quite like you do. I'd like to open up a can of worms right now. Our heart is the most deceitful thing because feelings fade, they change, they can be provoked and irrational. We discussed this briefly in episode 1, so if you missed it, you can check that out. I've attached the link to my YouTube channel below, so feel free to click it up and like and subscribe. You know the Schweppes. All right? So, this is it. Feelings are fallible. They fluctuate, they're unpredictable, they swing whether or not you allow them to. How can you trust something so inconsistent and unstable? My opinion? You can't. Well, that is unless it's in the gut. But that's for another conversation for a whole other episode. So let me hold on to that one. But listen, what you can trust is that what you do put in is always what you get out. If you work smart and hard, you'll see results, right? So why get caught up with your deceitful heart and the turmoil it causes when you can focus on the progress you're making in your own lane? Yes, it's slow. Yes, it's time consuming. Yes, it takes a lot out of you, but you see what you're getting from it. You see your growth, and your growth in every sense is worth it. You may not see your hard work pay off immediately. Don't feel like because I'm saying keep at it, you'll see it. That means you're going to see it immediately, right? No. Change takes time. Things take time. How's this for an analogy? I'm sure that a baby is constantly aging, right? Right? Yeah. He's constantly aging, growing, and changing. You trust, though, that this child, or hypothetical baby, he's going to sprout teeth and walk, and eventually start giving you lip too, right? You trust the process. Yeah. Let's be frank. Rome wasn't built in a day, but every move you make brings you a baby step closer to sealing the deal. Why don't you trust your process? Let's talk about it. As a matter of fact, I'm ready to serve you some food for thought, Beauts, so be ready to digest. Why do you think anything great is supposed to happen overnight? Do you think if it did, you'd be ready for it? Would you appreciate it? The process is so important because it's getting us ready. The struggle is real, but so is God, and it's for your better. I call it strength training. That's my strong belief. Obstacles you overcome may take from you, but you take more away from them because there's always a lesson to learn. So, stay in your lane and focus on steering through your own roadblocks. Focus on jumping over your own hurdles, clearing your own obstacle course. You'll need those lessons that you'll learn from all of that. Eventually, you'll get there. On that note, we can call this episode a wrap. I hope you enjoyed our time together because I deeply appreciate it. You can find me, your blunt bombshell, at JEBUVVT on Twitter and on TikTok for more motivational content. Join me next week as we strive to strike the balance. Until then, walk good, Beauts. Bless.